Su-30 MKI's Dogfight F-35Bs Stealth Jets as Indian flankers simulate attack on British aircraft carrier, HMS Prince of Wales. They were challenged by half a dozen British stealth F-35Bs on board the HMS Prince of Wales. The Royal Air Force listed 22 jets participating in the scenario, including 6 F-35Bs from the 617 Squadron embarked on the HMS Prince of Wales. This was the first simulated aerial battle between the Indian Su-30 MKI, the mainstay of the Indian Air Force, and the British F-35Bs, the primary aircraft on the two British carriers, HMS Prince of Wales and HMS Queen Elizabeth. Being a fifth-generation stealth fighter, the F-35B has a clear advantage in beyond-visual range combat. According to the Royal Air Force, the service has practiced 4 dogfights and 3 mission types. The simulated air drill, the first of its kind, helped the Royal Navy and the Indian Air Force test each other's tactics, skills, weapons systems, sensors, and interoperability. Furthermore, while the Indian Air Force trained against a stealth fighter jet in close air combat, the Royal Navy practiced against the Su-30 flankers. This assumes significance in view of the rising tensions with Russia. Notably, in addition to Russia, the Su-30 flankers are also operated by China's PLA Air Force. The PLA Air Force also operates a locally produced variant of the Su-30, the J-16. In a press release, the Royal Navy said, Indian pilots jousted with British Top Guns high over the Arabian Sea as the UK Carrier Strike Group ended its visit with a major workout for Anglo-Indian air power. Half a dozen F-35Bs acted as the carrier's shield, while a dozen Indian fast jets, 8 Su-30 flankers and 4 Jaguars, tried to penetrate the defensive screen to conduct simulated strikes at the flagship as well as her escorts. The instructions to Indian fighter pilots were crystal clear: target the HMS Prince of Wales in the Arabian Sea. Within seconds, a dozen Indian fighter jets, including 8 Su-30 MKIs, an Indian IL-78 aircraft, and 4 Jaguars, were airborne to penetrate the defensive shield of HMS Prince of Wales and conduct simulated airstrikes on the UK's flagship carrier. The simulated air battle took place as part of Concon 2025, focusing on defending the aircraft carrier HMS Prince of Wales. The simulated air battle took place as part of Concon 2025, focusing on defending the aircraft carrier HMS Prince of Wales. Indian Su-30 MKIs and Jaguars, supported by AEW ANSI aircraft, practiced attacks on the British aircraft carrier and Carrier Strike Group 25. For the air power of both nations, the mock dogfights allowed personnel to test individual skills, weapons systems and sensors, plus tactics, in particular against aircraft they do not normally encounter, it said. The Royal Air Force said it was the first UK carrier clash with flankers testing fusion, agility, and tactics. While the results of the maneuvers remain classified, they are not hard to guess. Being a fifth-generation stealth fighter, the F-35B has a clear advantage in beyond-visual range BVR combat. However, in dogfights, the Su-30 MKI can be equally lethal. Due to its twin engines, the Su-30 MKI has better thrust and speed. Its top speed is Mach 2.0, whereas the F-35BS is Mach 1.6. Similarly, the Su-30 can produce a thrust of 55,000 pounds versus the F-35BS 41,000 lbf. Furthermore, the Russian Su-30 is optimized for super maneuverability. Nearly 3 squadrons of the Indian Su-30 MKIs, a highly customized version of the Russian Su-30, are also integrated with BrahMos, a joint Indo-Russian supersonic cruise missile. The Su-30 MKIs are the Indian Air Force's mainstay. India has 260 Su-30 MKIs and ordered 12 more in December 2024. The Indian Air Force Jaguar is another deep penetration strike aircraft. Notably, its shallow penetration makes it as stealthy as the F-35B and F-22 Raptors at certain angles. The Indian Air Force Jaguars have been upgraded to Darren 3 standards, which feature ESA radar, new-generation air-to-air missiles, anti-ship missiles, sensor-fused armament, and extended-range LGBs. The Jaguars have also been equipped with the Israeli EL/M2052, which enhances their resistance to electronic warfare jamming. By having multiple transmit-receive modules, each transmitting on a different radio frequency, the EL/M2052 also reduces the probability of enemy radar warning receivers. In other words, the Jaguar is more difficult to detect and jam. According to the Royal Navy press release, the drills involved 4 dogfights, and the Indian Air Force must have impressed the Royal Navy with these mock drills. The drills also involve 3 special mission types. Lieutenant Daniel Randall, a staff officer on board HMS Prince of Wales, said, "Konkan has been a great opportunity to see how the Indian Armed Forces work. Working with both their Navy and Air Force has been a unique experience in my career so far." Notably, this was the Royal Navy's second mock drill this year against the Su-30s. Earlier in October, the Royal Navy's F-35Bs flew with Su-30s of the Royal Malaysian Air Force during exercise Bersama Lima 2025, which concluded on October 6. Bersama Lima also saw the participation of Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore. Interestingly, just days after these mock drills, India and the UK signed an agreement under which the Indian Air Force instructors will train the Royal Air Force cadets. Starting next year, Indian Top Guns will teach British cadets how to fly Hawk T2 fast jets at Royal Air Force Valley in North Wales. The advanced jet trainer Hawk T2 provides the ideal lead-in trainer for pilots transitioning to frontline aircraft such as the Eurofighter Typhoon and the F-35B. Konkan 2025 was part of Operation High Mast, during which the Royal Navy's Carrier Strike Group, led by the aircraft carrier HMS Prince of Wales, was on an 8-month deployment across the Indo-Pacific region, which included a journey through the Mediterranean and the Middle East. The mission's objectives were to conduct exercises with allies, demonstrate collective resolve, showcase British trade and industry, and confirm the operational readiness of the UK's Carrier Strike Group. Operation High Mast is a multinational deployment led by the UK Carrier Strike Group, providing an opportunity for the UK's armed forces to conduct a major global deployment and a chance to exercise complex operations alongside partners and allies in the region, with 12 other nations supporting the deployment with ships or personnel, said a Royal Navy press statement. The HMS Prince of Wales hosts 24 F-35Bs, both from the Royal Navy and the Royal Air Force, assigned to the 809 Naval Air Squadron and the 617 Squadron Dam Busters, respectively.